driving all night?
Yeah, since about 2 p.m.
Man, it's a long day.
Yeah, this way I just work Fridays and Saturdays, and then I've got what I need, and then all the other days I can work on my other stuff.
Nice. What does that entail?
A lot of thinking.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. Here, I do these street interviews. Let me ask you this. Do you have a brain?
A brain?
Yeah.
I think I do, yeah.
Okay.
Hope so.
Okay. So you had to think about my question, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where do you think thinking happens?
Your brain.
Okay. So was it the brain thinking about my question?
I would think so, right?
Okay. And do you know how hearing, like, audio processing works?
You have receptors in your ears.
Yeah, well, you have the little tiny hairs, and then they vibrate, and then that causes neural activity. So when you heard my question, it was processed by what? By the brain again? Are we talking about the brain
Yeah,
again?
occipital lobe, right?
Close. So that would be for vision. The temporal lobe is for audition. Okay, so the brain processed the audio,
Yeah.
thought about a response. You know how speech works? Speech production works?
It's like your vocal cords vibrating together.
Good. And what is like controlling the air and going through and the constriction of the vocal cords so that they can vibrate?
Your brain, right?
Brain, okay. So it starts in the frontal lobe. On the left, you've got this area called Broca's area that does speech production. Okay, hold on a second. So the brain processed the audio. The brain thought about a response, and then the brain sent out a response. What was your involvement?
I mean, I'm a part of my brain, right?
Okay. So then maybe you don't have a brain. Maybe a brain has you?
Well, like my entire entity and everything, part of my body is full of brains.
Okay. But if I swapped out your arm, let's say I put you under, swapped out your arm, and didn't even tell you, let's say,
Yeah.
would you have changed? Like, in a meaningful way?
No, not really, I don't think.
Okay. So is your arm, like, an essential part of you?
Not really, no.
What if you had, like, heart problems and had to get a transplant? Would that fundamentally change you?
No.
Okay. Outside of the brain, what are the pieces that are, like, essentially, fundamentally you?
I think that it's parts of you that people perceive and understand as you. So,
Okay.
if someone looks at me and they see me and there's definable traits that make me me.
Great. Give me an example of a definable trait.
First insight I've ever gotten from a girl was that my only personality trait is that I'm tall.
Okay.
So, I'm tall. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, I
Yeah.
think a definable trait about somebody, and like, if you change that, that's they're becoming not their self, right?
So, and that's a great question. So definitely that would change how others perceive you. Would it change how you, like, perceive the world or interact with the world? Or I guess it would change how you interact with the world. Much like if I were in a wheelchair,
Right.
that would change how I interact with the world, because it would change sort of my environment and so on. But is your environment, like, essentially you? So I guess where we're at is, what I want you to say is that you're a brain. Memories, personality, all of that stuff we can attribute to the brain. So you're a brain that has a body. Do you object?
Well, I mean, it really depends. Like, I think there are people out there that are do things that they are known for, like, not just their brain. They're known for, like, their physical abilities, and that's a different. Like, professional athletes are known for their physical abilities.
Yeah.
For me, like, I work a job where I'm like having to think, and like I think I'm known for like my brain capacity and stuff. There's more than just my brain. more lucky with physical abilities.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So then would you say that you share your body with the brain? Because I know that your brain can like have thoughts and so on. So does that deserve a separate identity then? There's like Adam and then Adam's brain. But I'm having trouble because Adam without the brain part is just like bones and muscle, and so it's like height. By the way, athletic ability is a brain thing, right?
It's a brain thing, but it's, yeah, I guess coordination, but
Yeah.
it's also like you're given like, I'm not gonna be 6'6". I was never born to be 6'6" and weigh 280 pounds and play offensive line from there. Like,
Yeah.
there's a factor there that's like that makes them physically them. And
Right.
like not just, I mean, it's a very extreme example, but it's like I think there's a percentage of people that like the brain matters less.
Yeah, and the less to maybe less to what actually? Less I'm gonna yeah. Cause I think we might have switched up the question from like what is the self to like what aspects surrounding the self are relevant to descriptions of the self. But that's really interesting. Okay, I'm gonna think about that. Thank you, Adam.
I mean, I think it's people's perception of like everything, right?
Yeah. So wait, hold on. I have a question now. If I wear like goth clothing, that's gonna have an effect on how people see me. Can we point at that goth clothing and say, "Oh, I'm not just a brain. I'm also these articles of clothing"?
People will categorize it.
According to them.
Yeah.
But can they actually like define me as like would that serve like if for instance someone so let's say I take off my jeans, my goth big raggedy jeans, whatever,
Yeah.
and then someone burns them. Have they burned me, or like a part of me, or is it like useful to distinguish between sort of aspects of our appearance and then the self?
I think that you can become. Like, imagine like you are goth. Like you grow up and you go through high school and you are like you wear goth clothes, right?
Yeah.
And then you decide you're gonna join the military.
Right.
You become an entirely different person, right? And that's
So you became a different person when you became motivated to join the military, right?
yeah. I mean,
And that motivation and that preference is a brain thing. So I would absolutely agree with you there.
maybe it's a brain thing, but
You know what, Adam? Is really interesting.
yeah.
Brains are so desperate to not see themselves as brains that's what I attribute this conversation to. What do you think about that?
So you think that we're only brains?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think that's saying only. So, like, let's say I'm a soul. Okay, we discovered the substance of that soul. I'm a biological soul. I'm a soul composed of 80 billion neurons and blah 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 blah. So everything that's happening in this interaction can be scanned. I mean, we couldn't really interpret it yet. The technology's not that good, but it's all brain activity. Your height is not participating in this conversation. Your goth attire is not participating in this conversation. They may participate in my interpretations of you, but really, I guess what I'm doing is, if I look at your clothing, what I'm doing is making judgments about what your brain probably is, right? Yeah. The world would be a better place if we realized the relevance of, like, neuroscience to ourselves. Because we tend to think of us as being this other self that has a brain, and we're like, why do I need to know about neuroscience? I don't care what my brain's doing, I'm me. It's hilarious, because that's the brain talking.
I think we're just a bunch of chemicals, right?
Yeah.
And they're interacting with each other.
Exactly.
In our brain, and like I genuinely believe that, and I think we will get more fortunate than others how this chemical interact.
Absolutely, exactly, and that's another thing that we can be a little less mad at people, a little more compassionate. All right, thanks for the chat, Adam.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I appreciate it. Francis, right?
That's right.
No, good to meet you.
Good
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
You too.